Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fiverr Talks YouTube channel. If you're just now joining us, then where you been? We've been doing this for a while now, and there's some great content on this channel. If you've never seen any of our other videos, after you watch this one, go and check it out. This whole channel is devoted to helping you become a better seller, a better buyer, to use Fiverr.com, the platform, to grow your business or achieve your goals in life and in work. As always, my name is Joel Young. I'll be your host and your guide. I'm a Fiverr top-rated seller. Been selling full-time on the platform since 2013. I've been blessed to become one of Fiverr's all-time highest earners, and I'm sharing all that I've learned through that time right here on this channel and this channel only. I may do some podcasts, I may do some interviews, I may talk about these things elsewhere, but I don't give this kind of practical advice anywhere but right here on this channel. So if you're not already, please subscribe, hit the bell so you're updated on everything that we put out right here on the channel, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, brand new videos for you. Today, specifically, we're going to talk about how to start a side hustle using Fiverr. Honestly, I believe that's how most people are using the platform today, to do something on the side as a side hustle. Maybe we should define that as we start. Side hustle is anything you do on the side of a regular gig, whether it's a 9-to-5 job or something you do during the day. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, but when your husband gets home from work, or a stay-at-home dad, and when your wife gets home from work, you have the opportunity to jump into something. Whatever it is, it's on the side of your normal daily routine activities and or work or career. And I believe a lot of people are using Fiverr for that purpose, because that's how I started on the platform. I had a 9-to-5 full-time job, and I started using Fiverr as a way to earn extra income on evenings and weekends. And today I'm going to give you the tips and tools for success in making a side hustle work on Fiverr. The first thing I want to talk to you about is setting parameters for your side hustle work. You need to set parameters for when, where, and how. That means you need to figure out how you can do this without driving yourself crazy, without driving your family crazy, and without losing your full-time job. Whatever you do, if you're working on a side hustle, do not jeopardize your full-time income. That is the goose that is laying the golden egg every 2 weeks or every month for you, however often you get paid. That's the thing that's sustaining you, and it's really the most important thing in your career or your financial life right now, is keeping that main income, your full-time income, going. So if this is a side hustle, don't do anything that would jeopardize that by doing something stupid like, working on side hustle stuff while you're at your full-time job, or becoming less productive, or staying up till 3 in the morning and not having the ability to actually do your work when you get to work. Whatever it is, don't jeopardize that full-time job while you're side hustling. Make sure you prioritize things properly. But beyond that, it's important to set parameters for when you're going to do this work, how often you're going to do this work, and where you're going to do this work. For me, it actually started in the corner of my bedroom. That's right. I had to get permission from my wife because this was a small house that we lived in. We had 2 children. We didn't have a lot of place to put me. So I said, I'll just put a desk in the corner of the bedroom if you're okay with that. And she was okay with that. Well, I had a little studio there with my microphone. I was using our closet to do voiceovers. You have to define when you're willing to do this work. Are you going to do this work as soon as you get home? Maybe you're done at 5. You travel home, get some food, start at 6, and say, I'm going to do this every night from 6 to midnight or 6 to 10. Or maybe you say, I'm going to get home, I'm going to be with my family till 8 o'clock when the kids go to bed, and then I'm going to work from 8 to 11, 8 to 12, 8 to 1 in the morning every night. Whatever it is, define the parameters of your side hustle. Define when you're going to do it, where you're going to do it, and how you're going to do it, so it doesn't cause more interruption and difficulty in your life than it should. Really, I think if you have a family, this is imperative that you define these things, make sure everybody's on board, know how long this is going to last, or are we doing this with a goal in mind, or is this something we're doing maybe to get out of debt? That's why we did it. Define those things up front and don't jeopardize your full-time job. It'll just help you in the long run. And Fiverr is definitely set up as a place that systems work in, meaning that if you tell people on your gig pages that, hey, I'm only available in the evenings from 6 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, or whatever time zone you're in, then they won't expect responses any other time. Define those things, set your turnaround times appropriately, and then just move forward from there. That's the best way to do it. The second thing I want to mention that will definitely help you to grow your side hustle on Fiverr is to let it grow slowly. Don't place huge expectations on this thing that you're trying out or starting, even if you're being very serious about it, which I suggest you do. Don't place all these expectations on top of it. Instead, get started, do hard work within the parameters that you define, and then see where it goes. You can start to set some expectations once you see how it's growing. You can start to set goals once you're started, but don't start something and say, I have to be doing this as my full-time job in 6 months or 8 months or 12 months or whatever it is. That's too much pressure to operate under, and it's not the best way for you to succeed. Let it grow slowly. Let it evolve. For the first 6 months, just let it be what it is. Do the work, put the work in, but let it grow at its own pace. On top of that, this is kind of a sub point for let it grow slowly. Don't go out and purchase a bunch of equipment or resources or tools that cost you thousands of dollars to do this work until it's absolutely necessary. I'm a big proponent of starting and keeping businesses debt-free. My business has never had debt on it in the history of its existence in the last 10 years. We've never taken on debt. We always grow probably slower than many people would like to, but we grow steadily, we grow incrementally, and we grow smartly. The only way to do that is make sure you're not jumping into deep waters with huge debt or commitments to software contracts or equipment. For instance, if you say, I want to start a side hustle doing something and I need a MacBook Pro, and you go out and you spend $3,000 on a MacBook Pro on your credit card, or maybe you're like me, you want to do voiceovers, and you go and drop $1,000 on the microphone. Don't do that stuff. Find out what you have. Find out what's the bare minimum I need to get started. How do I get started on the cheap? Make it affordable for you. Maybe you have a little budget. Only spend that budget, but don't grow too fast. Don't try to grow too fast. Don't take on debt. Don't overspend and expand and get things that you don't need too early, because all of these things just place too much pressure on a side hustle, which actually is something that is supposed to be relieving pressure in your life. It's supposed to be helping your financial state, helping you to grow into a career maybe that you want. Don't put too much pressure on it. It'll actually help you to be more successful in the long run. The next thing I think you should do, I believe very strongly, is that you should define whether or not you would like this to become something more than it is, or simply just be a side hustle. For some people, they just like side hustling. That's something that they like doing. Maybe it's because it's a hobby that brings them great enjoyment. But if you were to say, do you want to do this all day, every day? They might say, absolutely not. I love my career. Maybe you have a job in a place, in a workplace that you love, and you don't want to do this all day. You just enjoy doing it on the side. Define that for yourself up front, knowing that could change. You're the boss. You're in charge. That's the best part about a side hustle. That can change at any time, but define it for yourself. Do you want this to stay a side hustle, or do you want this to grow into a larger thing where maybe this is your full-time income, or maybe you want it to grow into an actual business where you have multiple team members, multiple people working with you? Define for yourself what you want this to be, how you want this to grow. And I can say from personal experience, when I started, all I wanted was a side hustle. But as my side hustle grew, I said, I think I might like this to become a full-time income. Then as that grew and it became my full-time income, I said, I think I might like this to become a company where I have team members and we expand what we're doing. We expand our offerings. That can change over time, but always be sure to define that for yourself. Know where you are, know where your goals are. Don't shoot for something that you think other people might expect of you, or something that you think the growth dictates to you. You can always keep it small, even if you're being successful. You can limit the amount of orders you take in. Just raise your prices. High demand creates higher prices. Whatever you do, define it for yourself, and maybe every 3 to 6 months, look back and say, am I still happy with this definition for success? Is this still where I'm headed? Make sure that you do that for yourself, and develop a transition plan for yourself if you do want it to grow into something else every 3 to 6 months. Look at it and say, okay, we're starting to grow. I'd like this to become my full-time income. Where do I need this to be in order for me to start considering it to be a full-time income? At what point do I put in my resignation at my day job? At what point can I trust this? That's something that, like my old buddy Dave Ramsey likes to say, you want to get the boat closest to the dock as you can before you jump on. Otherwise, you might end up in the water. For me personally, we actually, within 12 months, I grew this business to a place where it equaled the full-time income I was earning in my 9 to 5. But then we continued for another 6 months to ensure that was sustainable, that it was reliable enough for me to quit my full-time job. We made sure that that boat was right on the dock before we did anything. So I believe in transition plans. I believe they'll help make you successful. And the more you define things, then the happier you'll be with the outcome. The last thing I want to talk about today, and this is an extremely important thing, something that I'm not very good at, and most people who want a side hustle are not going to be good at, because you're doers, you're aggressive, you go out there and you make things happen, and that is, you need to take breaks from a side hustle. The reason you need breaks is because the definition of a side hustle is something you're doing in your spare time, the evenings and the weekends. And if you're doing that all the time, you're not getting any sort of break. Take vacations. Take a vacation from your side hustle, but stay home. Just work your 9 to 5 sometimes. I don't have a recommendation for how often you should do this. Like I said, I'm not very good at this. And in my time working in a side hustle, I was not very good at this. I only took just a few breaks in the 18 months that it was a side hustle. One was because I had surgery on my hand and I physically couldn't do work. The other was for a small vacation. But still, you need to plan out those breaks, because when you're doing a side hustle, you're not getting any type of breaks. And sometimes the breaks aren't for you. They're for your spouse or for your kids or for the people in your lives, your friends, to make sure that they're still around when you're done with this, or it grows to whatever it's going to be for you. Make sure you plan and program those breaks into your life so you can enjoy life. Life is not all about work. Yes, we should work hard. Yes, we should set goals, but life is not all about work. So make sure you take the appropriate time off and stay sane. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching today's video. I'm telling you, we're putting out some great content here, and it's just going to keep on rolling every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on Fiverr Talks. So make sure that you subscribe, hit the bell below. You'll get notified every time we put out a video. Come back, and if you haven't already, leave me a comment below with a question maybe you have. We're going to be doing some Q&A videos 100% devoted to your questions and the answers that you need to hear to make you more successful and help you on the platform. We will be that for you. So make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, whatever you want to do. We're just glad you're here. We're glad you're watching, and I'm glad you made it to the end of the video. Bravo. Until next time, my name is Joel, and remember to keep on doing, because the future favors the doers.